Good morning. You've obviously heard there's a football match on today, or perhaps a couple of them. We kick off a Super Sunday on the BBC with the biggest football rivalry on the planet in the final of the Copa América. And of course, Argentina against Brazil also means two of the biggest names in the game are on show as Messi faces up to Neymar at the iconic Maracanã in Rio. If all of that's not worth staying up for, well, then I really don't know what is. Before the action on the pitch, we will have the closing ceremony.
La Copa América lo confirmó, porque la fiesta ya empezó. Todos latiendo un solo corazón, y los campeones somos tú y yo. Y se formó la gozadera. La Copa América lo confirmó, que no se quede nadie afuera, porque la fiesta ya empezó. El fútbol no tiene fronteras. Todos latiendo un solo corazón. Los equipos defendiendo su bandera. Y los campeones somos tú y yo. La cosa está bien dura, la cosa está divina. Perú su cultura, Chile con Argentina. Uruguay pone la rumba, Ecuador trae alegría. Y a mi gente de Paraguay le damos la bienvenida. Bolivia viene llegando, Brasil ya está en camino. El mundo se está sumando a la fiesta de los latinos. Se formó la gozadera. La Copa América lo confirmó, que no se quede nadie afuera, porque la fiesta ya empezó. Ahí el fútbol no tiene fronteras. Todos latiendo un solo corazón. Los equipos defendiendo su bandera. Y los campeones somos tú y yo.
So welcome to the wonderful Maracanã in Rio, where it is approaching 9 o'clock in the evening local time, and where we have a 10% capacity crowd inside the 78,000-seater stadium. It was a late call from the officials in Rio after a request from CONMEBOL, South American football's governing body. No tickets have been sold. Each team were allowed to bring 2,200 guests to the final, who have all had to provide a negative coronavirus test result to get in. And this after no fans at all had been allowed into the tournament before this showpiece showdown. So a stirring setting for this South American Super Classico. It is the only game in the tournament to be played at this stadium. It is also where Brazil won the last Copa América in 2019 with a 3-1 victory over Peru in that final, while 7 years ago Argentina lined up in this very tunnel before losing the World Cup final to Germany. It's been a long, long wait for Argentina since they last lifted a trophy. It was the Copa América back in 1993. Since then, Brazil have won it 5 times, as well as collecting 2 World Cups. 2 heavyweights slugging it out, but the tail of the tape is certainly in favour of the hosts. Fireworks before the game. with the star names on show, we're hoping for some on the pitch as well. Well, the stage is set, and before the action, it's the anthems.
Senhoras e senhores,
there was a lot of talk about the potential lineups for both managers this evening, and 5 changes in all for Argentina from the team that started against Colombia in the semis. Acuña, Romero, Montiel, Paredes and Di Maria all come into the side. 3 of the back 4 are different to that semi-final success on penalties. In contrast, it's the same Brazil side that started their semi-success against Peru, which means that Thiago Silva continues at the heart of the back line alongside Marquinhos. There were some suggestions that Eder Militao might come in for the Chelsea man. Plenty of attention on Neymar and Messi, 2 of the biggest names in the game, but incredibly, neither of them have won a major trophy with their nations as of yet. The 39-year-old Uruguayan Esteban Ostojich is the referee tonight. The former chess teacher was the 4th official for the controversial semi-final meeting in the Copa between the sides here at the Maracanã 2 years ago. And he also came in for some criticism for his handling of the Peru-Paraguay quarter-final as well. The VAR tonight is Andreas Acuña. Lionel Messi actually complained about that semi-final match 2 years ago when he said that there was corruption in favour of Brazil, which earned the Argentine a fine and a ban as well. A reminder as well that while we had no extra time in the quarterfinals or the semi-finals, it is reinstated for the showpiece event, so if it's all square after 90 minutes, we will have an extra half an hour before a penalty competition. Ahead of kickoff though, as we have had at all of the matches in the Copa America, which was delayed a year due to the coronavirus pandemic, we will have a minute's silence, both in memory of all of those who have lost their lives to COVID-19 and in recognition as well of all of those that are helping to fight the virus as well. Well, the home side's extremely classy centre-half Marquinhos sums it up better than I ever could. Brazil versus Argentina is much more than a simple game of football. These jerseys make the world stand still to watch their games. Brazil in the yellow and green jerseys, Argentina in the white and sky blue stripes. This really is a super classico in world football. Leon Osman, Brazil are seen to be the slight favourites. Do you go along with that?
Yeah, I think I would. I think the fact that they're on home soil, I think that their record in this competition over the past 10 or 15 years would suggest that they are the favourites going into this game. You'd have to give them that right, and I'd expect to see them try and start the game in that manner, start it in a comfortable fashion, try and control the play, dictate the tempo of the game, try and set an early message out today.
Clipped out by the hero of the semi-final penalty shootout win for Argentina, Martínez. The Argentine has been called a phenomenon by Lionel Messi for his displays, which has seen him cement that goalkeeper position, which has been a problem position for Argentina over the years. Esteban Ostojich is already telling Lionel Scaloni to pipe down. Might be a long night for him in that respect. Collected by Lucas Paqueta, the man who has scored in both of the knockout stage victories for Brazil, both by a goal to nil against Chile and then Peru.
Yeah, he's very good in both of those games, Lucas Paqueta. Match winner in both, but his all-round game was particularly impressive. When teams and opposition, like Argentina will today, you try and identify Neymar as the go-to guy for Brazil, but they do have quality players throughout the rest of their team. Lucas Paqueta in particular has been one of them.
Yes, Tite, the Brazil coach, has experimented with playing more of a 4-4-2 formation with strikers pushed out wide like Richarlison And Gabriel Jesus, who is suspended tonight after his Kung Fu kick red card that you may have seen earlier on in the tournament, but when he's played those strikers out wide, it's left them a bit light in midfield, and both in the last game and in this game he's reverted to having that extra midfielder as Fred picks up an early yellow card, much to dismay of Tite.
Yeah, initial thought was that was a touch harsh. I think he probably does follow through the ball afterwards and just does rake down the shin. Montiel on that right-hand side of the field. Generally, you can see that players may get away with the first one. Not on this occasion. Fred straight into the book, and you'll have to be careful now for the remaining 87 minutes of this game.
The Ajax fullback Nicolás Tagliafico started the last game at left back, but Marcus Acuña is in for him, and Gonzalo Montiel on the right side of defence has replaced a player who's impressed generally, Nahul Molina, on the books of Udinese, the 23-year-old. The other change coming at the heart of the back line with Cristian Romero, who they have high hopes for in the Argentine national setup. He's missed the last few games for injury, but back today, so 3 of the back 4 different to the side that started the semi-final for Lionel Scaloni. Another of those to come into the side was Angel Di Maria.
Well, it was no surprise to see him come back into the team. His performance was impressive when he joined the game in midweek against Colombia. His side were just off the pace at the moment he came on, but his performance really was probably one of the reasons why Argentina edged it in the end. He was very impressive. He drove at the opposition, really carried the ball and carried the fight to Colombia. No surprise to see him into the side.
Ederson again getting the nod between the sticks for Brazil. What a wonderful embarrassment of riches Tite has to pick from in that position. Alisson no longer the undisputed first choice. He and Ederson jostling for that #1 jersey. Ederson was given both knockout round matches, which some thought was evidence that he had his nose in front, but there was the counter argument that Tite did that while promising the final to Alisson, but it is the Manchester City man who starts in goal ahead of the Liverpool keeper.
Yeah, I don't think you can argue too much if he decides to choose either of those options. Both wonderful goalkeepers. I think the big surprise would have been if he'd left, say, Alisson out for the quarter-final, for the semi-final, but then to bring him back in for the final. I think once you've made that decision with a goalkeeper, you tend to stick with them throughout a competition, throughout a tournament, give them a run of games. I think that's when certainly most football players, but goalkeepers in particular, are at their best.
Here's Otamendi. Acuña getting forwards well. Chase on for Danilo. Well, made sure he wasn't getting there by hook or by crook.
That's good enough defending by Danilo. Just stepped his body across Acuña, but it was a positive run by the Argentinian left-back. Really tried to drive, commit the defender.
Danilo, who generally is the more disciplined of the 2 fullbacks for Brazil, tends to play a conservative role on the right side of that defence, while Renan Lodi will be the player who will gallivant further forwards and normally allows this man Neymar to tuck inside from the left and pose more of a threat in a roaming role.
Yeah, he does. As you said, Danilo is more of an old-fashioned fullback, plays from this position here. When he does get forward, they tend to be underlapping runs into positions where he can actually get shot on goal.
Nicely done by Lautaro Martínez, who was looking to utilise the pace of Di Maria. Pace is perhaps an area that Argentina will look to exploit. Thiago Silva looked a little bit slow in the semi-final success against Peru at times.
Well, Argentina won the free kick. It was certainly a foul, a crunching tackle. I think it was by Casemiro in the middle of the park as Fred just got caught in possession. Fred thought about making the foul himself, but already being on a yellow card.
Lo Celso, who played a fine pass to help carve out the chance for Argentina's goal against Colombia in the semis. There was a fair amount of back chat in that semi as it went on between Argentina and Colombia. The referee was being lobbied by both sides, and already early signs of a similar pattern emerging in this one.
Well, you can feel the tension already. You can feel it from the players on the field. You can feel it from the touchline. People eager to champion every decision, every claim for a foul or anything, to give the referee just a helping hand in making that decision. Everyone's desperate to get the upper hand. The first part of the game is so important to try and become the dominant team. Those decisions can be crucial.
Richarlison with the foul on Paredes.
It's a lovely piece of skill already by Neymar. Just the flick, the touch, the awareness. But Celso never getting anywhere near that one. I mean, it's sideways, and his manager would much rather he was doing that on the edge of the Argentinian penalty area than in his own half, but still wonderful to see from us.
Richarlison unable to get on the end of that flick from Neymar. Martínez forwards. Acuña waited a bit too long. The last competitive meeting between the sides came in the semis of the Copa 2 years ago. Brazil winning 2-0 in Belo Horizonte with goals from Gabriel Jesus and Roberto Firmino. That was also Argentina's last defeat. It's an impressive 19 games unbeaten for Lionel Scaloni's side since then.
Yeah, they're looking more like a unit these days, Argentina. There's been criticism in the past of having wonderful individuals, but not being able to come together as a team when the major competitions come around. But Scaloni seems to have found the answer for that. Messi seems to be well emerged in the team at the moment. The team are playing well. They're fighting for every single game. They're not happy just to win 3 and lose 1. And they're looking a much better outfit.
Acuña on the move. Danilo's throw. Paqueta. Here's Marquinhos, a real Rolls-Royce of a centre-half is Marquinhos. One of those players that you don't really tend to notice because he's just that good.
He's a wonderful player. I think you notice him when he's popping up with big goals in Champions League ties and helping his side progress to the latter stages. Wonderful player.
Neymar down the line, and Lodi went down to ground and has given away the free kick.
Well, the referee was certainly right on the spot. Went to ground early. Lodi. Yeah, and there's no doubting that that's a free kick. Tough to tell from first view. I thought there may have been a tackle in there coming together, but clearly second to the ball. Good to see the referee not feeling he needed to show a yellow card.
Here's Otamendi. Bit of a loose ball forwards, charged down by Everton Suarez. Paqueta running into traffic. Fred helps it on. Here's Everton.
Well, both teams are showing each other a bit of respect at the moment with their team selections and the start of the game.
Richarlison trying to nod it down, chance! Oh, they get a bit lucky there, the first half sight of goal. Protests about a potential free kick in there go on, but play also goes on.
Oh, it's great to see. Just mentioning that the respect teams are showing each other by thickening up the middle of the pitch.
Paqueta poking it on and then was bundled over, so it will be a free kick. Well, you can see what Neymar's point is there. He's saying if that's the damage, where was the free kick?
I think that's from the effort, from the knockdown. When he had a shot at goal, you see the sock ripped as well from Lucas Paqueta on for that challenge he's just taken to win the free kick. That was raked down his shin. Good use of the shin pad there. Certainly would have caused a bit of damage on that shin bone. But it was good to see from Brazil. Yes, Argentina thickened up the middle of the pitch, yet happy to go long and play direct. There's nothing wrong with being direct with quality, as they just showed there. Richarlison with the knockdown, Neymar unlucky with the effort.
Paqueta leaves it for Neymar to take. Thiago Silva. And another collision and another appeal. Montiel this time lobbying the referee for a yellow card.
I'm not quite sure which free kick he ended up giving. Everybody seemed to be claiming for something. There's a challenge on the ankle of Montiel, then there was a potential kick to the face of one of the players. There was a challenge with Messi and Casemiro as well.
Oh, heavy touch, and he got a bit lucky there, Cristian Romero.
He got very fortunate there, Romero, just the pace at which Richarlison closed him down.
Now Messi, and danger. Rodrigo de Paul. Messi to Di Maria, held up by Renan Lodi. Richarlison across to help out, and Di Maria lost his way. Richarlison's lost his too. Here's de Paul. Paredes. Montiel. Here's Messi. Di Maria, Messi, they've worked that well. First real time we've seen that little circuit of quick, sharp midfield passing from Argentina that they like to try and employ. Both of these star men are on the turf.
Yeah, they are. I think Neymar will be back to his feet quite quickly. I think it was certainly a foul on the Brazilian number 10, as he just tried to knock it past. Yeah, I don't think there's maybe too much trouble with him continuing the game.
Danilo. I think Everton was expecting it to go out and it didn't. Brazil have it. Just over a quarter of an hour played at the Maracanã, 0-0, and no serious chances of note. Neymar. Well, there's only 7,000 or so inside the Maracanã, 10% of the capacity, but does make a difference.
Oh, it's great to hear the noise. He said Argentina had the ball and the Brazil penalty here, and it's great to just hear the booing. On this occasion, I think Montiel just buys that free kick. Neymar just loses possession, gets a touch tight.
Paqueta through the back of Lo Celso. Both of the head coaches have had grumpy looks on their faces at some of the decisions early on.
Yeah, well, it's been very stop-start in the opening of this game. Both teams quite content to go to ground, take the free kick, try and gain an advantage from the referee. Hasn't really been any free-flowing football as of yet. No team really dominated possession.
Here's Paredes. Messi for Di Maria. Now De Paul. Big switch to pick out Acuña. This is what they like to do. Spin it around midfield, move the opposition from side to side. Di Maria moving inside of Fred, who is on a yellow and needs to watch his step.
Oh, it was brilliant by Fred. Di Maria just tried to sell him the cross and take him down the outside, and he didn't go for it. The Manchester United midfielder read it ever so well.
Top man at CONMEBOL, Alejandro Dominguez, in attendance. Did read that Gianni Infantino, the top man at FIFA, was going to be here as well, and then hot-foot it across the Atlantic to be at Wembley for the Euro 2020 final later on today. Can't imagine he'll have to wait too long at Heathrow to clear the border force. Richarlison deflected and easy for Martínez.
And again, Brazil getting a little bit of joy from playing direct. Argentina trying to squeeze the play, trying to make sure there's no spaces through the middle of the pitch. Brazil timing the run correctly. Wonderful pass over the top. Richarlison just scuffed his shot.
Otamendi, who perhaps unfairly was seen as a bit of a liability at times at the back when he was with Manchester City, and Brazil have got possession but then lost it. Paqueta, Neymar, that's going to be a free kick. In fact, it might be an offside.
Well, it was very delayed flag from the assistant as he came back. I did feel he was half a yard offside, but I did watch the assistant. He didn't give it at first. He waited, he waited. Only once Neymar went to ground that he eventually raised his flag, no doubting that that was a foul. Would have been in a very dangerous position.
Brazil and Argentina meeting for the 34th time at the Copa América. Argentina with the better overall head-to-head record, 15 wins to Brazil's 10, but in the 7 previous games between them in the Copa played in Brazil, the hosts have never lost. That's a good pass. Di Maria could be in. What a chance! And what a finish as well! Argentina lead thanks to a moment of magic from Angel Di Maria. There might not be many Argentina fans inside the Maracanã, but they are making a right racket. Are they on course to end their long, long trophy down? They haven't lifted a title since 1993, but was Di Maria offside?
Well, it's touch and go. It comes from a mistake from Renan Lodi. Has to stop that at source, has to deny the ball going through to Di Maria in that position. But once it does, he's got wonderful composure. Just takes his time. Great touch with the outside of that left foot. Such control of the situation. As Ederson comes out just to try and get closer to him, make it difficult, he just leaves them with the easiest of lobs over the top, and with the quality that that man has in his left foot, you're not going to see him miss. What a wonderful finish.
VAR have had a look, and the goal is good. And it certainly was very good in terms of the finish from Angel Di Maria.
But for all of the, we watch these two sides and expect them to pass through the middle. Wonderful play. Brazil 2 half chances with direct passes, and that again, it's a long pass. It's a 60-yard pass trying to get Di Maria in behind Renan Lodi. Suddenly that's where all the spaces are. Yes, it's a mistake. There's no getting away from that. There's a direct pass, a good run, and a wonderful finish.
Well, that's one of the areas that Lionel Scaloni deserves praise for as well, because they've got different ways of finding a way through against sides. They can play that midfield circuit of quick interchanges, but also have the ability to go long. Normally, though, it's Lautaro Martínez, the Inter Milan forward, that they look to hit, utilising his pace with a ball over the top. This time it was Di Maria.
If you're going to play that way, and you're going to do it successfully, it can't always be the same player. It can't always be Lautaro Martínez making that run. They have to mix it up. It's Di Maria on this occasion, just catching Brazil a little bit flat-footed. Lack of concentration at left back. Suddenly Argentina find themselves a goal ahead.
Brazil are unbeaten in their last 26 games at home in the Copa America. 17 wins, 9 draws. They've only lost 2 of 46 on the home turf in the competition in total, against Paraguay in 1949 and Peru in 1975. It generally doesn't happen, let alone in a final against your arch enemies.
I don't think there'll be any panic from Brazil at the moment, or from Tite. They know they've got the players, they know they have the ability to get back into this game, to score a goal at any moment themselves. What they do need to do, considering the type of team that they are, is to get control of the ball, keep possession in the Argentinian half, get Neymar in the game. We've not seen Everton at all. Lucas Paqueta hasn't had the influence that he's had. These boys, the players, need possession of the ball. Yeah, it's been neither team's really took control.
Neymar, Casemiro back to Fred, Paqueta, and Casemiro's hit is catching practice for Emi Martínez. It's been some time since Argentina had a keeper that they could really call top draw. Lionel Scaloni's used 8 since the 2018 World Cup finals, but Emi Martínez appears to have solved that particular problem.
What a rise he's had in the past 18 months, from getting in the Arsenal side after an injury to staking his claim for that position, to play at Aston Villa, to find himself in the Argentina first team. If anyone saw his performance in the semi-final, especially in the penalty kicks, when he had the confidence and the character to give it out to the penalty takers and just try and put them off the stride, that's a sign of a player full of confidence and belief in themselves. That's why you're seeing him playing for Argentina.
It's almost like an Ashes test match, that penalty shootout, the amount of sledging that Emi Martínez was dishing out, but it seemed to do the job as he made 3 saves in that shootout, and Lionel Messi called him phenomenal after the game.
You know, some players, some people might not like that or appreciate that, but I think it shows your character. I think it shows who's got strong characters, who's tough, who can handle that situation when you're really up against it. 1 or 2 of the Colombian players just came up a touch short.
Lionel Messi was actually named player of the tournament before the final even kicked off. and he has been the standout player during the 4 weeks of the competition. Scored 4 goals, and he's been involved in all 11 of Argentina's goals at the tournament, either by scoring or providing an assist, or another new one on me, a pre-assist, which is the pass before an assist.
Oh, I'd have had loads of those.
Casemiro looking for Everton Suarez. Lo Celso onto it. Messi. Here's Paredes. Looking for Di Maria, who's done well. Fred comes across, but has to be careful. Di Maria. Now Messi. Worked on for Acuña. He's gone back to Di Maria. They've worked this well. Montiel on the overlap. It's still Di Maria! Nearly broke for Lautaro Martínez as well.
Oh, Di Maria started this game how he finished the semi-final. Full of confidence, taking the ball, making things happen. Again, Renan Lodi just got caught. A bit of indecision, went to the ball, got himself in a really poor position. Allowed Di Maria in behind to run it. His team centre-half to run at Thiago Silva. He's such a confident player, Di Maria, and he's full of it at the moment.
Free kick taken quickly. Everton forced back. Here's Marquinhos. Now Casemiro finding Fred.
You see there the squeeze in the play, Argentina. Richarlison made a wonderful little run. There was a moment where he could have been played in by Fred. Fred always looking to find a little pocket of space, a shorter pass. Argentina have a real game plan here tonight. Could have gone anywhere. Again, Di Maria onto that left foot as it comes off Thiago Silva. He said it could have gone absolutely anywhere. Martínez wasn't far away from the rebound. I'd be trying to get him on the ball as much as possible if I was in an Argentina shirt.
Brazil unbeaten in their last 13 games since they were defeated by Argentina in a friendly in Saudi Arabia in 2019. Only goal of that game scored by Lionel Messi. Since that defeat, across those 13 matches that they haven't lost, they've kept 10 clean sheets, conceding just 4 goals. They've been tough to breach, but Argentina have won, and you fancy they'll have opportunities to get more given the way the game is panning out.
Well, they're in control at the moment, Argentina. Brazil on the back foot. Argentina keeping good possession. Quick when they lose the ball as well. Quick to put pressure on a Brazilian player, trying to win the ball back straight away.
I mentioned earlier that there was some chat about whether Eder Militao, the Real Madrid central defender, might get the nod ahead of Thiago Silva. Ederson was using his usual tricks there and nearly came unstuck. Messi leading the charge now. Brazil have numbers back, but Messi's on the move. Well stood up by Marquinhos, still got the effort in though. Asking for the free kick, but I think that was good defending from Marquinhos.
Yeah, it was. It's not easy to thwart when he's running at full pace like that, Messi, with runners either side, but Marquinhos just kept his eye on the ball.
And Neymar is over. That's a free kick, and it's the first card for an Argentine tonight. And it is Neymar's Paris Saint-Germain teammate, Leandro Paredes, who goes in the book. He actually said that he'd been chatting to Neymar in the build-up to the game, and that Neymar admitted he knows he's going to drive him crazy, and that he reckons they're going to fight the whole game if it happens. Well, just over half an hour played, and one of them's picked up a card.
Yeah, and I thought that one was a touch harsh. I thought the actual foul was by Romero two or three steps earlier on Neymar. By the time he got to Paredes, I think he bought that foul more than anything. Paredes gave him the opportunity by going to ground so early. It's a wonderful position for a free kick.
Well, there's been so much talk about Messi not having won anything with Argentina. Neymar also looking for a first major success with his country. He was injured for the 2019 Copa America success. Neymar to hit this one and hit it straight into the wall. Collected by Danilo. Won well by Martínez, but Danilo wise to the danger. Casemiro. Bit of room for Everton, who's swapped flanks, but is still having no joy, despite switching from right to left.
Yeah, he just can't seem to get him in the game. Hasn't really got to the pace.
Martínez's touch, not quite what he was hoping for.
But Brazil haven't really got going. As I said, we've not seen much of Richarlison. One or two glimpses of Neymar. Everton not been in the game at all. I don't think I've mentioned Paqueta's name as yet. They need to get a grasp of this game quite quickly. When that happens, you hope that when those free kicks come around, Neymar can be the player that they need him to score a goal out of nothing, really lift his team. It's a poor free kick in the end.
No way through for Paqueta, and he's then fouled Marcos Acuña. Well, there he is, Lionel Messi, hoping to end Argentina's 28-year wait for a senior title.
Well, this could be the goal. Very straightforward, a run in behind, a pass in behind, a mistake. But take nothing away from the finish. That was a delightful touch with the outside of that left foot, and could be a huge goal for Argentina. They've been the better side in this first half, certainly for the first 35 minutes. They've had more control of the game. They seem to have had more of a plan with regards to how they're going to attack and when they're going to attack.
Well, they have generally made fast starts in all of their games at this Copa, but the problem has been sustaining it across the 90 minutes. It looked as though they were going to run away with their semi-final against Colombia, but as the game went on, the physicality and the switch in tactics from Colombia saw them come into the game and force it to a penalty shootout. Here's Di Maria again, though. Well, he got there in time, then lost his way, and has done himself some damage as well.
Well, I hope it's not too bad. Brazil want to start the game because he's off the field, and they've probably got a point. To be honest, the referee doesn't necessarily need to stop this game. Di Maria being off the pitch, but it was again, you can see it's something that Argentina have thought about. It was a simple free kick, a run in behind by Di Maria, wonderful pass by Paredes, but for him seeming to just run past the ball, didn't seem to be able to put the brakes on this newly laid pitch, which I don't think we've really touched on. I think maybe just kicks the ball, maybe twists his ankle a touch. But it's a very dangerous situation, again, from just such a simple movement.
Yeah, there have been a lot of complaints about the pitches, actually, Leon, especially the one that Brazil last played on at the Nilton Santos Stadium, a couple of miles west from here. But the Maracanã, as you say, has been relayed to ensure that this showpiece went smoothly. The finish there went very smoothly.
A wonderful piece of officiating as well. The assistant certainly getting it right. It was a very close decision. They've been very comfortable, I think, Argentina in this first half. You wouldn't expect that when you're thinking Neymar, Richarlison, Paqueta, Everton, especially with Lodi, who we usually see in an attacking sense down that left-hand side. He's had to do much more defending in this first half. Brazil as an attacking unit haven't really got going.
Well, when we think of Brazil and Argentina, we think of attacking flair and goals galore, but defensively they have both been very tight as well. Argentina have only conceded 3 goals in their 6 games at the Copa so far, and before today Brazil had kept 10 clean sheets in their last 13 games, conceding just 4 times.
That's what could make that such a huge goal. You know, the thoughts of the past that these two sides would go head-to-head with the attacking talent, and we could be in for goals galore, but as you said, they're more concerned with keeping clean sheets at the moment. It's certainly not a bad way to go about things when you've got the talent that they have.
5 minutes to go until the break then at the Maracanã, and Angel Di Maria's wonderful finish is the difference. One other thing about opting to play Thiago Silva ahead of Eder Militao is, aside from the pace Militao has, that Thiago Silva, knocking on the door of 37, doesn't really have these days. It also means that Brazil can't press up as high in midfield as they normally do, and invite Argentina to dominate that midfield area as they're appearing to start to do. And they've got themselves a free kick here for the challenge on Acuña.
Well, Thiago Silva's a class act, there's no doubt about that. He'd be in my team if I was selecting it. Yes, it means that, you know, they do have to be wary of pace in and around him, but I think he gives you so much more as a player, as a leader. Certainly not hindered them up until this point.
Here's Acuña, closed by Richarlison. Well, it's been wonderfully niggly.
Yeah, you see that so often in these ties. There's so much feeling between the two that generally spills into every single decision, every single tackle, every single claim for the ball.
Danilo. Neymar invited the challenge and kept his feet, and Romero kept his eye on the ball.
Yeah, good defending, really tight to Neymar. I think that's what you have to do. I think you have to try and stop him before he gets going, before he gets into his stride.
Danilo. Here's Marquinhos. Fred. Everton looking to turn and hit. And again, it's comfortable for Martínez.
Yeah, because of a really good piece of defending. Thought for a moment he just found that half a yard to get his shot away. It's a great piece of control. Turn, manipulated the ball quickly enough. 3 Argentina defenders round him in a flash.
What a season Martínez had with Aston Villa and is now enjoying quite the summer with Argentina as well. Kept 15 Premier League clean sheets for Villa last term to equal Brad Friedel's club record. Saved 3 penalties in the shootout win against Colombia in the semis of the Copa, and after just 7 games looks to be the clear #1 for Lionel Scaloni now. Casemiro, Danilo, Richarlison. Early delivery was interesting, and Montiel pops it behind.
Oh, it's a brilliant ball by Richarlison. Absolutely wonderful ball. Just begging for somebody to be on the end of it. Richarlison being the striker this evening himself. He's the furthest forward. He probably wants to be in, trying to get on the end of it himself. Neymar coming deep. Everton not having those instincts.
Flicked on and flicked wide.
So many players in such a tight area. It's Richarlison who actually gets his head to the ball first, coming out from the 6-yard box. It's much more difficult to mark a player. Gets away from Acuña. I always fancy Richarlison in those situations. He has an incredible leap. Just can't find anybody on the end of that flick on.
Marquinhos digs it out to Fred, who was quickly closed down by Paredes.
Yeah, I think they've done that well in the first half. Argentina, they've denied any space in the middle of the pitch. They've been trying to press as much as possible when Brazil have their back to goal, not giving them the opportunity to get turned easily.
Space for Di Maria. Now Messi. Lo Celso. Oh, nearly.
It was very nearly. You see Messi just give Lo Celso a thumbs up. That was very unfortunate. Lovely nutmeg to try and get Messi back in. But it was Marquinhos who was actually just tracked the run really well.
30 seconds of stoppage time to play at the end of there's been an absorbing, if not action-packed, first half. One last chance in the half for Brazil, perhaps. Here's Fred. Oh, they're halfway there. Argentina looking to end a 28-year wait for a senior title. Angel Di Maria with the only goal of the game so far to give us the half-time score of Argentina 1, Brazil 0. And on the balance of play, that's a just scoreline.
Yeah, just about. I mean, there's not been an awful lot of chances in the game. Neither side's really forced the opposition goalkeeper into too many moments. But yeah, I think that Argentina have been more settled in their setup. I think they've been defensively sound, and you know, I think they've looked like they have a game plan going forward. They're sharp, they leap into action, they do it from a good shape, whereas Brazil just haven't really got going in that first half, and I'm sure Tite will be trying to find an answer to that at half-time team talk.
Argentina have lost the last 6 finals that they have played at senior level, 4 in the Copa America, 1 in the Confederations Cup, and of course the World Cup final here at the Maracanã in 2014. But at half-time in this final, they lead. It is Argentina 1, Brazil 0 at half-time in the Copa America final. And in case you needed reminding, this is just the start of a Super Sunday of sport on the BBC.
Against Italy.
So, welcome back to the Maracanã, where we are underway in the second half. Argentina leading this Copa America final by an Angel Di Maria goal to 0. And we thought that Brazil needed to change something, and during the interval, Fred has been replaced by Roberto Firmino. So very much an attacking change from Tite right at the start of this second period, Leon.
Yeah, no surprise to see him make a positive substitution. I don't think Brazil have been anywhere near it in the first half, so I think he had to make a change. He had to think about how to affect the game positively. Fred being on a yellow card, easy one to replace. That'll mean Lucas Paqueta comes a touch deeper, puts a lot more pressure on Casemiro defensively when Argentina are in possession of the ball or on the counter-attack. But 1-0 behind in a final, they need to go in search of the equaliser.
Firmino did score in the last game, last competitive game between the nations in that semi-final success for Brazil at this stadium in the Copa 2 years ago. Is this to be Messi's moment? So much talk about whether he can truly be seen as the greatest if he hasn't won a senior title with his nation. Although his coach Lionel Scaloni, along with a lot of the other great and good of the game, said that Messi doesn't need to win any particular title in particular to prove his greatness. Montiel, Di Maria, whose inclusion in the starting lineup this evening has looked like a very good call.
Yeah, it has, and it's his own making though. His performance when he came on in the semi-final against Colombia was impressive. He's carried it on here this evening in the final. He's been very positive. He's been able to drive with the ball to put Brazil players on the back foot defensively. He's been a real asset to that Argentinian attack.
Well, it's been a long wait for Argentina to toast a Copa America success once again. 28 years since they last did so. If they do emerge victorious this evening, they will draw level with Uruguay on 15 Copa successes overall. Charleston doing a good incredulous impression there at not getting the decision.
Well, I think he's got a point, to be fair. I think either it's a foul or it's a corner kick. I'd like to see it again. Oh, I'd take that back. It was Charleston's foot that played the ball out of the field. Really good spot by the referee.
Otamendi there, I think, miscontrolled the ball, but then tried to make out he was letting it run. Here's Messi, who will run. First time he's really had some open space in front of him. Offloads to Di Maria. Angel Di Maria tried to work it back to Messi. Good strength to nudge Casemiro off the ball, which is no easy feat.
That's the kind of space that Brazil are taking the gamble on in this second half, with the replacement of Fred out of that position. Messi's clever, he's intelligent, he'll drop into those spaces, he'll pick the ball up and able to drive. Casemiro cannot cover the whole midfield by himself, so expect to see Messi on the ball in them positions again in the second half.
Oh, risky. Richarlison onto it, Neymar wants it. Still Richarlison. That's a bit of a waste. Here's Rodrigo de Paul, and Paqueta halts him illegally.
It's top class midfield play by de Paul. Knew his team were in trouble, got back and sensed it. Nicked the ball, run away with it, and then just bought that free kick, allowed his team to get up the pitch. Real intelligent play.
Here's Messi. Lovely stuff. Tees it up for Di Maria. Collected by Neymar. He was crunched there, advantage play, there is none. And so Celso doesn't even need to look up because he knew the yellow card was coming.
From my first impression, he's fortunate it's only a yellow. Such was the impact. I'd be interested to see about the studs were. Yeah, studs were low. Certainly a lot of force in the tackle. Wasn't really, he certainly knew he wasn't really going to get the ball. It's more about making sure Neymar couldn't continue in his run. Considering he'd beat 2 or 3 players already, had a lot of space to run into. Not the worst yellow card he'll ever take.
Marquinhos. Firmino worked on for Everton. Renan Lodi. Everton back to Renan Lodi. Richarlison trying to make something of it. Martínez, away from Marquinhos nicely. Paqueta back to double up on him. He came off the inter-forward last.
It was just unfortunate, wasn't he? Did the first part really well. He just lacked the pace, really, to be able to get away from those recovering Brazilian defenders. That's the danger for Brazil. They know they're going to have to start forcing the issue in this second half. They will leave spaces for the counter-attack.
Richarlison is in and scores, but the flag is up. They will check it, but Richarlison's celebrations are short-lived.
Well, again, it was a really late flag by the assistant referee. Take nothing away from the finish when it came back. The reaction, there we see. Yeah, I think he's probably got that one just right. Did well initially. Richarlison skipped past Otamendi, tried to pick our teammate in the middle, and when it came back, reacted ever so well. Just straight, just half a yard offside.
While the goal doesn't stand, it certainly got the Brazil fans inside the Maracanã jumping. Around about 7,000 supporters have been admitted into this famous arena tonight. No tickets were put on sale. It was guests from both of the Argentine and Brazilian football associations that were allowed entry. And perhaps because he's walking a tightrope after that yellow card for the challenge on his Paris Saint-Germain teammate Neymar, Leandro Paredes will make way.
That suggests that's exactly why Paredes is leaving the field. Don't want to gamble with him being on a yellow card, potentially going down to 10 men. He's had a pretty good game in that position.
The man who's coming on for him, Guido Rodriguez, is an even more defence-minded defensive midfielder. So he will just sit there. He actually got another header, Paredes, in the last game. Here's Richarlison. Blocked well by Martínez, although Richarlison may feel that he didn't really hit it as well as he wanted.
I just think his first touch just got away from him momentarily, just made the angle just a touch more. But you see the numbers Brazil get forward. Argentina just can't cope. That run by Paqueta just opens the space up Richarlison, but I think it's a poor first touch. I think it just takes it a little bit too wide for him, and then he's always trying to stretch to bring the ball back into play rather than striding onto it comfortably. Still hits it really well, hits it true, hits it strong. Martínez equal to it. They're getting chances now, Brazil, just starting to grow into the game, getting numbers forward.
Tested Martínez more in the opening 10 minutes of the second half than they did across the entirety of the first period. Here's Everton. Richarlison's suddenly become their go-to man. Offside against Paqueta. Play goes on for now. Down goes Neymar. And now the flag goes up for the offside.
Yeah, I think you've got to. I understand the reasoning. I do think you've got to raise your flag if you're quite confident that it is offside. Just allowing play to continue. You're allowing potential for dangerous play. You're right, Richarlison's seeing an awful lot more of the ball. It's just the weight of numbers that Brazil are getting forward. And he is offside. It is quite close, actually. Richarlison certainly figuring a lot more in this second half. Brazil flooded men forward. Argentina not able to cope at the minute.
Making the change as he tries to change the course of this game and avoid his first ever defeat in the Copa America. He's never been on the end of a loss. 9 wins and 3 draws so far. He's equalled Mario Zagallo as the Brazil manager with the longest unbeaten run in the competition's history. Celso couldn't work it onto Messi. Casemiro's there. Richarlison, a bit more of a spring in the step of Brazil now. And Firmino stopped in his steps by Acuña.
Competitive in the middle of the pitch at the moment. Seems desperately trying to win the ball back for the opposition. Brazil have been a lot better in this second half.
Thiago Silva. Neymar took the contact, and then did he make contact on Rodrigo de Paul? Well, the free kick has gone Argentina's way. And de Paul is making it very clear that he was caught in the face.
I think Argentina players really close to the situation and wanting more action from the referee. I don't see it myself. I think when you're a player who runs with the ball and holds the ball like Neymar does, you can't do it without your arms, you can't do it without your hands. That was just a hand in the face rather than a swinging arm. Yeah, we just see that Richarlison offside. Wasn't by much, but certainly enough.
They get a lot more lines than we do in the Premier League.
There's a good reaction finish in the end by Richarlison. All in vain.
Celso. Almost an hour played then at the Maracanã. This intense rivalry. I saw the well-respected and just generally brilliant journalist Tim Vickery say that this is the purest rivalry in football, which I really like the sound of. No historical context, it's just about football, producing Arguably the greatest players that the game has ever seen. Martínez's touch wasn't the greatest you've ever seen. Well, Argentina just starting to sit in a bit, and as I said to you earlier, Leon, they've had a habit in this competition of starting games really well, being on the front foot, asking questions, and then starting to just fade.
Yeah, I've seen it myself. I just wonder if they've just overexerted themselves in the first part of this game. I actually think Brazil have been much better in this second half. I said they've committed men forward, they're taking off Fred, bringing on Firmino, another attacking player, bodies into the attacking areas of the field. It's just give Argentina something else to think about. The midfielders are now looking over the shoulder defensively rather than looking about what they can close down ahead of them. They could usually see Fred and Casemiro. Now they're always looking, trying to find Neymar, trying to find Paqueta. It's a much more difficult way of defending that way.
Argentina have only won one of their last 19 away games against Brazil. That sole victory coming in a friendly here at the Maracanã back in 1998 when Claudio Lopez scored late on to snatch a 1-0 win. It doesn't happen very often. What an occasion for Argentina to prize a victory in the backyard of their big rivals.
You're right, it doesn't happen very often, but well, that was when the Maracanã was full to the brim. Huge support. Slightly different at the moment with everything that's going on. The atmosphere, albeit great to have fans back in the stadium, isn't as intense as it would be usually. This is an opportunity for Argentina. Real tussle. He's had a good game, De Paul. A good hour of this game. Featured heavily in that midfield for Argentina. Winning aside a free kick there.
Well, Vinicius Junior, who has hardly had any game time, the Real Madrid winger, looks like he's about to be chucked on as well by Brazil, but not before this free kick is dispatched by Messi. Good delivery it was as well, well defended by Richarlison. It's worked its way back to Messi.
It was good defending. Two occasions there. Danilo on Messi. Wonderful header by Richarlison. Very important because it was a good free kick by Messi.
So, Vinicius Junior for Brazil. And off goes Celso for Argentina. Nicolás Tagliafico is his replacement. Everton, the man that Vinicius Junior has come on for. Oof, dear, that is an awful pass from Thiago Silva. And it will be a gift of a corner for Argentina. Ederson can generally control the ball pretty well, no matter what the trajectory of it was, but the Manchester City man was never able to prevent that going behind. Will it be a costly error?
It was unlike him, wasn't it? Did take a huge bobble just as it arrived at his foot.
Taken short. Here's Messi. Messi. Di Maria will chase, and Renan Lodi will jockey behind. Messi. Di Di Maria one way, Messi going it alone. Messi, brilliant stuff, goes over, doesn't get the decision. Brazil get the clearance.
Well, I don't say this very often about Messi, but I just think he just chose the wrong option. He had Di Maria making a terrific run, really did make ground up on his right-hand side. He had Martínez on his left.
Paqueta sends it wide. Firmino won't get there. Di Maria. Here's Casemiro. Neymar sends it on. Here's Vinicius Junior. Did he keep it in? Argentina have it back. Di Maria gives it away. Vinicius Junior trying to poke it to Neymar. Di Maria. Intensity has just gone up a touch. Di Maria has gone down.
It does. It was lovely play on this near touchline. Di Maria heavily involved. Lovely bit of play. 1-2. Real composure. And then he's certainly trying to buy that free kick. Had an awful lot of ground to make up. Neymar bought it. Good play. I just wondered, with the joy that Brazil were getting at the start of the second half, how Argentina would react. And that sub of Tagliafico says it all to me. Taking off Celso from midfield. I think Tagliafico coming on that left-hand side with Acuña just going on the outside of him, just giving them that extra security on that far side of the field.
Messi was caught by Renan Lodi.
Certainly no getting away from it being a free kick. It's actually a cynical one, I think, from Lodi. I think he knows Messi's going to be running around him. He does stick his leg out to make sure he makes some sort of contact. I think for the rest of this game, certainly if the scoreline remains the same, they'll take the time over those decisions, Argentina.
Di Maria finding Messi, looking for the angle for the shot, couldn't find it, but did come for Guido Rodriguez to chance his arm, but case probably of the wrong man in the right spot there for Argentina. Ederson, cool as you like. Marquinhos. Paqueta dispossessed. It's a good squeeze from Argentina, although Brazil have come away with it. Neymar taking on De Paul and hauled down by him. That'll be a booking.
Easy one for the assist for the referee there. This moment that he realised Neymar had skipped past him. He wasn't going to allow him to run at his centre halves with runners either side. Made sure, took the cynical foul, took the yellow card. Just like I said with the Celso earlier in the game, I think it's one he'll be too displeased with.
Quarter of the game to go. Argentina still lead. Neymar drills in. Casemiro didn't really appeal for much.
Not an awful lot in that one.
There he is, Gianni Infantino, the FIFA president, who will be hot-footing it across the Atlantic to London to see England against Italy at Wembley in the final of Euro 2020.
Commercial.
Doubter. Cristian Romero has remained down.
Yeah, as I said, I think you're going to see this an awful lot for the remainder of this game. Anytime there's a coming together, anytime there's possibility of a foul or a booking or a decision, they really do. They make it really difficult for a referee.
Martínez, no foul there though. Neymar on the charge. Richarlison. Can't find a teammate. It's getting a bit scrappy, getting a bit frenetic.
Yeah, it's backs to the wall at the moment for Argentina. Defended quite well for the game so far, but just finding themselves a little bit penned in.
Firmino didn't quite pull that one off. The ball goes over, and this time he gets the free kick.
That's exactly what Argentina want. Start, slowing the game down. Bookings for the opposition. Having an opportunity to take a breather, having defended quite deep for the last 5 or 10 minutes or so. I don't think there was an awful lot in that one. Certainly right in front of Scaloni on that Argentina bench. You could hear his cry.
Di Maria. Back it goes from Montiel. Romero, who missed the last few games through injury. Big boost for Argentina to have him available tonight. He is seen as the best of the centre-halves that they have at their disposal. 2 balls on the pitch there. Heard about that in another big game recently. Renan Lodi. Neymar. Oh, it might come for Paqueta. Couldn't quite find the angle to fashion an attempt on goal.
Well, he was nearly in again. Paqueta has a real way, I'd say, of drifting into those spaces. I don't think the pass was intended for him. I think Messi was trying to find Firmino as he was bustled off the ball. Paqueta drifts in behind. You thought for a moment he was going to get another important goal for his team. Just always off balance. Tagliafico well marshalled in that situation.
More changes coming from Tite. Di Maria. Marquinhos to Casemiro. Neymar. Firmino, I think, let it run. Paqueta, the latest in the book. Referee seems to have found his pocket.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? A silly one. I don't think there was enough in that to be a yellow card. You wouldn't think so by the screams that are going on with every challenge at the moment, though. Really don't want to lose to each other, do they? The desire to win this football match.
Messi has worked that well. Dangerous ball gathered by Ederson. Renan Lodi, bit of a heavy touch. Di Maria closing. Vinicius Junior. Oh, Di Maria has leapt in there, and at first glance that looked like a very, very risky decision.
Well, certainly a strong challenge. Seemed like he got enough of the ball.
Neymar went over, doesn't get the free kick. It's going to be a 20-minute period that the referee's going to have to concentrate more than any of the players.
Yeah, he's just got to be aware that there are 1 or 2 players from either side at the moment. Actually, they're just trying to buy free kicks, opportunities at times to skip away, and then they're trying to go down and buy a free kick. Ball skipping out to play, people going to ground. Brazil to try and end their side opportunities. Argentina just to try and run the clock down.
Richarlison felt he was impeded there, but is told to get on with it. Di Maria. Martínez hasn't quite been at it this evening, the Inter Milan forward. Scored in all of his last 3 games for Argentina. Here's Di Maria. Di Maria. Martínez was waiting for that one. Hacked clear by Paqueta.
That was a big header by Danilo at the back post. 2 players just skipping around the back. You thought the ball from Di Maria looked inch perfect initially. Danilo just pulled himself away from Marquinhos, who he was just a touch close to. Made a great header.
On the charge now is Firmino. Tried to thread it through for Neymar. Vinicius Junior. Again, nothing doing from the referee.
I watched it well. It's just enough of a touch on the ball. And Montiel went to ground early, but a great tackle.
Neymar. Collected by Messi. Di Maria doesn't get the throw. And here come those changes. So Renan Lodi is going to be replaced by Emerson. And Lucas Paqueta makes way for the man known as Gabigol, Gabriel Barbosa, the Flamengo forward.
Well, that is another positive change by Tite. Just trying to get goal scorers onto the field, players who can really make a difference. They've been much better in the second half, Brazil, but barring the 2 offsides, they haven't really troubled Martínez in that goal. A lot more play, a lot more possession, a lot more territory, without troubling the goalkeeper.
Here's Marquinhos. Marquinhos. Both sides came into this game with their most recent defeats coming against each other. Argentina's last defeat was in the Copa semi-finals 2 years ago to Brazil, and the 1-0 Argentine victory in a friendly 4 months after that semi in a game played in Saudi Arabia was Brazil's last loss. Oh! Well, the referee making it very clear that he saw nothing untoward there. Collected, though, by Vinicius Junior. No way through. It will be a throw, and it will be a triple change from Argentina.
I think they'll check it, but I think he got it just about right, the referee there. His positioning tonight has been wonderful. He's always been right on hand. You see the levels of frustration just reaching fever pitch at the moment. He will check it with VAR.
Andres Acuña is the man watching the replays this evening.
He just felt that he took just too long on the ball. Barbosa just felt for a moment that he was just sneaking in, but I think Rodriguez just gets his leg there in time, sticks it out. Yes, he probably makes contact, but there's enough contact with the ball as well.
It was great there with Guido Rodriguez as he started to go down in agony, but then still made sure he wagged his finger to make it clear it wasn't a foul.
I wasn't quite sure what he was claiming for. Was he fouled? Was he not fouled? Was he hurt?
Fezela on for Romero is like for like. Ezequiel Palacios looks like he's about to replace Angel Di Maria. And Lautaro Martínez also goes off with Nico Gonzalez replacing him. With Zella coming on for Romero, might mean that they're a bit more susceptible to pace at the back, the centre of the Argentine defence now.
It's just more energy, I feel, at this stage of the game. All three players had a pretty good match.
Emerson coming forwards here. Barbosa. Goal kick.
Well, he's not endearing himself to the home fans and the home players this evening. The referee has been very strong. All credit to him. He's certainly been close to each action he's called. See, again, he must only have been 4 or 5 yards away from that. Otamendi making a good tackle. I do actually think that one's a corner kick, if I'm being honest. He's had the courage of his convictions, the referee.
First time that Argentina have played a Copa America final in Brazil, and they are 10 minutes away from winning in the backyard of their arch enemies. And now something that has been on the cards for a while has happened. It's boiled over, and the referee needs eyes in the back of his head here.
As you said, it's been in danger of spilling over ever since Di Maria got that opening goal. It was a tough tackle that started it off by Otamendi stepping right in. I don't think it's a dangerous tackle by Otamendi, but it was one that certainly said, you're not getting by me. Made sure there was not only a tackle to the shin, I think there was an arm into the ribs of Neymar, which caused more of the damage. And as all good teammates do, you leap to the defence of your felled player. That was just a little bit too much from both sides. The referee quick again to calm things down.
In from Neymar. Cleared by Montiel. Now let's say wall of sky blue and white between Brazil and Emi Martinez's goal at times now. Marquinhos up there. Over goes Barbosa. It's going to come to Vinicius Junior. Oh, and here's a chance for Barbosa! Side netting. It's a corner, but he knows it could have been a whole lot more.
It could have been. I think it was Pizzella. A wonderful piece of defending. Didn't look like he was getting there, but made sure he did.
Neymar trying to get the couple of thousand Brazil fans going. His corner doesn't come to anything, although then Danilo was able to chance his arm.
I expect him to do better, Danilo. I've seen him hit some wonderful strikes from those distances. Maybe felt a little bit rushed. Here's that goal again. De Paul with a decent enough pass. Probably expected it to get cut out by Renan Lodi. Di Maria, as all good strikers do, they just gamble, run in behind, expect a mistake. And once that comes, a wonderful goal. Could be the difference as it stands. What a big goal that will be for Argentina. You said how long it's been.
They've also suffered heartbreak in so many finals as well. They've lost the last 6 finals they've played at senior level, 4 in the Copa America, 1 in the Confederations Cup, and the World Cup final here at this very stadium in 2014. It would be very, very sweet to end that run here against this nation. And how sweet it would be for him too to do it in Neymar's backyard. He's not used to this, Tite. Not only has he never lost a game in the Copa América during his 5 years in charge, he's only lost 5 matches.
It's an incredible record. I'm sure he'd swap one of those for 4 or 5 of those to make sure he came away with victory today.
Just a reminder that while we didn't have extra time in the quarterfinals or the semi-finals, if Brazil were to get a leveller, we would have extra time tonight. Will they fashion one here? They've got a corner.
A good run by Danilo, but again, one of those 2 centre-halves. Romero's been replaced by Pizzella, but joining with Otamendi, the defended though penalty area ever so well this evening.
In it goes, and well, I don't think that Thiago Silva was expecting that.
Oh, it's headed onto him. More of a reaction from him. Yeah, we see they're coming together. Marquinhos with the barge into the back of Otamendi. I'm not sure why it made his legs stop working.
Well, it is the smattering of Albiceleste's supporters that are making the noise. 4 minutes plus stoppage time away from ending their wait for success. Edison. Marquinhos, closed by Messi. Casemiro. Now it's Neymar. Vinicius Junior. Well, he played for that, and he's got the free kick, and then he's got himself in a bit of a squabble too with Ezequiel Palacios.
Yeah, clear foul. I think they need to get the ball onto Vinicius Junior more. Get him running at Montiel. It's been a very physical game. You've seen the blood on the sock of Montiel as he was making that challenge. They've really gone toe-to-toe. It's not been one for the purist of wonderful open football, but certainly been very competitive.
Delivered by Neymar. And still alive, Barbosa's effort tipped over the top by Martínez. Most testing save that he's had to make tonight. And the Villa keeper preserves Argentina's advantage.
He does a great save, but that's a wonderful piece of technique by Barbosa.
Neymar's ball in, doesn't clear the first man. That one wasn't the greatest either. De Paul couldn't bring it under his spell. He's gone down. Brazil will play on. Pinged in towards Thiago Silva. Richarlison heaved in. Away it goes by Gonzalez. Rodrigo sends it forwards. Here's Messi. This is the danger as Brazil pour forwards. Messi for De Paul. Messi wants it back. Here he is. Is this his moment? Oh no, it's not. Would you believe it? Lionel Messi with the chance to wrap up the Copa América for Argentina. And he, of all people, fluffs his lines.
Oh, well, that moment could be huge. What a pass it was by De Paul in that situation.
Neymar. It's a let-off for Brazil, who will have the chance from a free kick here.
Well, there's an awful lot of complaints going on. I thought the tackle, it's by Montiel, I thought the tackle on Vinicius Junior initially was the one that would be pulled up. It wasn't on Vinicius Junior, it was on Emerson. Went right through the back, he then jumps up and Watches his teammate Rodriguez make another one. And you see there, Neymar just flicking out into the midriff of Montiel. That there'll be a complaining about a cut or a scrape down his side. What a chance that was for Messi at the other end. A wonderful counter-attack. And this game should be done and dusted. Messi should be putting that one away.
As it is, Brazil still have hope, although they don't have much time. Out comes Ederson. Imagine there'll be a fair amount of stoppage time bolted on. Swung in by Casemiro. Oh, what a waste that is. And they are dropping like flies. How about that, though, from him?
Yeah, it's something that you just expect him to score. As we see that Barbosa effort again, wonderful piece of technique. And a very important save by Martínez. You just see a few petulant moments, a few moments where players barging into backs, kicking out, frustration spilling over. Not for those people, not for those fans who have been able to make it into the stadium.
Well, he wants to know how much longer they've got to see out. We are in to additional time.
Brazil just need to keep the game flowing, keep the ball in play. Stop, start, Argentina.
So 5 additional minutes is the total that Lionel Scaloni's side need to negotiate, and they're using every trick in the book here to run down every possible second. Messi. He has had a really good spell in charge. Nearly 3 years at the helm now, Lionel Scaloni, after the resignation of Jorge Sampaoli after the 2018 World Cup.
There's that counter-attack again. Look at the way he glides and runs with his head in the air. Makes that pass, keeps going. This is where you expect him to score. I think Ederson does really well, to be honest. Comes out really quickly, denies Messi the opportunity to pass it into the back of the goal. The strange thing is he's just seems to take his eye off the ball, and the moment he should be dribbling around the goalkeeper. Very un-Messi-like.
Emerson. Given to De Paul. He can settle it here. Ederson to the rescue to spare Emerson's blushes. Neymar shrugs off the challenge. Messi stuck out a boot there. It's a real scrap. De Paul surely will just head for the corner. Messi, beautiful stuff. The spin just goes against him.
He doesn't quite manage to keep that in, but a bit of play before it by De Paul. It was absolutely sensational. He's been terrific tonight. Certainly one of the star men out there in an Argentina shirt. Dictated the play, got about as the assist.
Richarlison, will they get one more chance? Firmino. No foul. Danilo. Fire that one in. He's looking for Messi. It will be an Argentina throw, and they're nearly there.
trying to lift his team that one last time, but it's just over a minute of the game. They've been excellent tonight, Argentina. They've attacked when they can. They've been defensively stubborn. They've not given much away. They came out of the blocks quite quickly at the start of the game, really signalled their intent with the pressure they put on Brazil to try and win the ball back high up. And they got their reward, and in the second half, Brazil have had bits of play, moved the ball from side to side, but still not really troubled Martínez in goal. Our poster shot 5 or 10 minutes ago. The only real moments I think that they had was on the counter of that. Argentina have had 1 or 2 opportunities to finish this game off.
Not the outcome they came here hoping to see. The Argentina supporters are on the cusp of celebrating. Elation for Argentina. The wait is over. Their first title since 1993, and they have done it in the backyard of their arch enemies. Celebration time for the Albiceleste at the Maracanã, and this is Lionel Messi's moment. He hasn't scored in the final. He has been the standout player in the tournament. And after so much talk about Messi having not been able to do it at international level, he can now toast a title with his country. It wasn't pretty, but they have got the job done. Disappointment for Neymar and Brazil, who had their opportunities, but the full-time score, Argentina 1, Brazil 0. Argentina are the 2021 Copa America champions.
And just what they deserved. I thought Argentina were the better side. I thought, as I said, I thought they came out right from the first whistle, signalled their intent, real good pressure on Brazil, denied them any midfield possession, made sure that they couldn't go through that area of the field. They were quite direct in the first half. Argentina got their rewards from it with a wonderful De Paul pass and that Di Maria goal, and from that moment on, I didn't think Brazil were going to be able to get back into it. Argentina were defensively so stubborn, didn't give anything away, and if anything in that second half, could have stretched that lead. I thought Messi was very good. I thought De Paul was absolutely fantastic. I thought Otamendi was top-notch as well. Well, it's been a long time coming, as it has been for Argentina, to win it in the backyard of your neighbours, of your fierce competitors. It's just so sweet for those players.
The way they were throwing Messi around, considering he's a free agent at the moment, he won't want to get himself injured. He might not be able to find a club.
I think he'll do all right. But he must feel wonderful. Not Neymar, obviously feeling the pain. Didn't perform tonight, Neymar, didn't perform. Usually expect that when you come to these occasions, the biggest players usually stand up and deliver. Messi was very good. Neymar was just a yard off it, like the whole Brazil side were. I think tactically, Argentina done a number on them tonight. I think even when Brazil started to find spaces in that second half, I thought Scaloni made a wonderful substitution, taking off Celso, bringing on Tagliafico, putting Acuña just on the outside of him, just denied them the space that Richarlison had been getting for 5 or 10 minutes before that. Again, from that moment, they counter-attacked really well, full of energy. We've spoke that in previous ties, Argentina's energy levels seem to have just died off, and opposition, especially Colombia and even Ecuador, maybe got back into the game a touch, but not tonight. Their energy was incredible. Di Maria really did set the tone for that, ran himself into the ground before eventually getting replaced, and others carried it on. Wonderful performance and a fantastic result.
I think unless you are of a Brazilian persuasion, you will not begrudge Lionel Messi adding an international title to his glittering trophy cabinet. 6-time Ballon d'Or winner, 10 La Liga titles, 4 Champions League triumphs with Barcelona, and now he can finally celebrate winning something with Argentina, and look how much it means to him. There has been talk that at the moment Argentina, more than any time in his career, is his team right now. He is a free agent, out of contract at Barcelona, and there's been more of an emphasis on getting things done with Argentina than there has been previously in his career, and you can certainly see that.
Yeah, but I think you have to believe in the team, you have to believe in the manager. There's been questions to whether Messi's always bought into that. Has he always bought into that? Well, he certainly is now. You can see how much a part of the team. You've just seen his relationship with the manager Scaloni. I'm not sure he's felt like that about all the managers he's played under. But he certainly has belief in this one. He certainly has found a manager that seems to know how to get the best out of him.
Let's just enjoy this for a bit. It is Messi's 4th Copa America final, the 5th of his senior international career. All of them have ended in defeat before this evening. I mentioned reading some of Tim Vickery's stuff. He said something I found very interesting about Messi, that for years there was an air of aloofness about him when he was on international duty with Argentina. His self-contained nature said to intimidate some of the other players on international duty, but starting with the 2019 Copa, he's been different, more vocal, more encouraging in his role as skipper, and he's been a real leader, integrated into the team, both as a footballer and as a human being, and he can now celebrate with his international teammates. As for Tite, well, even winning the Copa America was said not to necessarily be enough to satisfy some Brazil supporters. It's the World Cup or nothing as far as they're concerned. So Qatar in a year and a half will be firmly back on the agenda. They have done well in the early stages of qualifying for the World Cup, 6 wins out of 6. But he will find himself under the microscope once again, despite that remarkable record. This only his 6th defeat in 61 matches in charge of Brazil for Tite, and his first defeat in the Copa America. Sergio Aguero didn't get on the pitch, but that has not checked his celebrations. As well as ending that 28-year wait for a senior title, Argentina now draw level with Uruguay on 15 Copa America triumphs overall. The joint highest number. And you can see just how much it means to all of them. Well, I wonder if that will change the whole discussion about Messi, how often we hear it when discussions about who the greatest player of all time is, and the amount of opinions that come back saying, well, he hasn't won anything with his country. Can he really be viewed as one of the greatest? I personally don't think it matters, but now that particular argument has surely been put to bed.
I don't know if it's been put to bed. I think it certainly makes things easier for those that doubt him. Not sure how many can doubt him in the manner. That's a nice moment, the respect that they have for each other. Despite the disappointment that Neymar's obviously feeling at the moment. But I think until Messi could potentially win that World Cup, win that major, huge world tournament, I think there'll always be questions, there'll always be talk. This certainly goes a long way to answering those.
Messi's only previous success with the senior Argentina team was at the 2008 Olympics in China. Incredibly, this is his 10th major tournament with his country, 4 World Cups, and this is 6th Copa America, and now he has a winner's medal to go along with already being named the player of the tournament before a ball was even kicked in the final tonight.
He certainly had a good tournament. You just saw again this evening those moments. He's travelling with the ball, how many players feel they have to get close to stop him. We've seen that time and time again. It's a wonderful, wonderful player for us to watch. We're very fortunate in our generation that we've had some incredible players to watch play football with TV these days. We get to see them right from our own living rooms if we're unable to be at the stadiums. You know, there's 2 right there. Sergio Aguero, Lionel Messi, Di Maria. Terrific players. These are great moments for any team. Again, that's a lovely moment from Tite. Obviously feeling the disappointment. I mean, his record's are incredible. That's his first defeat in the Copa America. They'll be back, Brazil, no doubting that. Real force to be reckoned with.
Means Neymar is still yet to win a title with Brazil. He was injured for the Copa 2 years ago. All smiles now. It's worth remembering as well that this was a tournament that was shrouded in controversy before it kicked off. Was set to be split between Colombia and Argentina. First time it would have been held across 2 nations, but civil unrest in Argentina and COVID upsurge led to it being taken away from those countries. Brazil stepped in at late notice, which again was a very controversial call given the COVID situation in the nation as well. And there were some suggestions that if Brazil were to win it, it would be remembered as the COVID Copa. Instead, it will be going down as Messi's moment. He finally gets his triumph on the international stage. Well, a Super Classico that wasn't necessarily a classic, but Argentina have got the job done. And after so many near misses in showpiece events, that will be a mighty relief for Messi and co. One of the things that Lionel Scaloni has earned plenty of praise for is the way that he's managed to get the best out of Messi, taking less of the burden off his shoulders. The likes of De Paul, Gonzalez, Di Maria coming to the fore, allowing Messi to drift in and out of play, conserving energy, as he is now 34 years of age, for those attacking bursts when he's in space, and that will just increase the longevity.
Well, that's what's been important to this Argentina side and to Messi himself. So long have we turned to Argentina and expected Messi to get the ball and do everything and score the goals, unlock the door. Whereas the reliance isn't just solely on him at the moment. You've seen the performance of Di Maria. You saw how well De Paul played. Paredes, while he was on the field. Lautaro, Martínez played very well. They're not all just relying on Messi every single time. That the other players really have stepped up, and that's given Messi the opportunity to have his moments of magic with less players around him, to be able to pop, as you said, in and out of games, still have the impact that he's always had. It's been wonderful managing.
Well, before Argentina get their hands on the big prize, there will be a series of smaller awards handed out. Angel Di Maria getting the Man of the Match award. I don't think many people would argue with that.
No, I think when you score the winning goal in a cup final, when you work as hard as he did, when you were a thorn in the opposition like he was, no one would argue with it. Certainly thought Otamendi and De Paul were equally good for Argentina tonight.
And it appears as though Emi Martínez will continue his fairy tale year and pick up the best goalkeeper of the Copa America award.
You know, what a rise he's had over the past 18 months, 2 years. His performances have merited it, though. Took every opportunity that's come his way to now being part of a successful Argentina side.
He was called up to the senior squad for the first time in June 2011, but only made his actual debut in a World Cup qualifier against Chile last month, and there he is, the clear first choice keeper for Argentina now, and with the keeper of the tournament trophy in his midst as well. I don't think they're too bothered about the rest of the minor awards.
Nor should they be at the moment.
Well, we knew already that Messi was going to be presented with the Best Player trophy. Imagine he's still thinking about that miss late on, though.
No, not at all. I think if they'd have gone on to be playing extra time, or maybe not have won the trophy, maybe would have lingered, but it's a thing of the past now. I would have just put icing on the victory. The victory was assured by everything else that went before it. How he played in the build-up to the final, how he played in the final as well. He's straight back up for the top scorer one as well.
4 goals for Messi in the Copa. He needs one of those little cars that we've seen at the Euros to ferry all of his various awards back to the dressing room for him. Just a reminder as well, of course, that it is Sunday now, and you've got a bit of rest between now and even more top-level sport for you on the BBC. The men's final at Wimbledon, followed by the small matter of England-Italy in the Euro 2020 final at Wembley. Well, it was a tough gig for the 39-year-old Uruguayan Esteban Ostojich this evening, but I think he did pretty well in what is a bear pit environment when Brazil play Argentina.
Yeah, I think he did better than that. I think he was absolutely brilliant tonight. It doesn't seem an easy game to referee, especially when there's so much riding on it. And there were, as you said, there were a good few eyebrows raised when he was given the game, whether he'd be able to handle it. But I thought he was very good. I thought he had the courage of conviction every time he made a decision. He didn't doubt himself. He didn't let the players get inside his own mind to maybe change his decisions. And he was right on the spot for each one. His distance covered will be incredible. He's only ever 4 or 5 yards away from any decision, and that's all you ever can ask from a referee.
Well, a guard of honour being formed by the Argentina squad as Brazil go up to collect the medals that, I believe from hearing from players over the years, no one ever wants to go and actually collect.
Well, I've got a runners-up medal from the FA Cup. I'd much rather it be a winner's one, but don't regret going up and collecting it.
There is Gianni Infantino, who will have his taxi waiting.
Sure, he will. Got another big final to watch still today, isn't it?
Yep.
Got another big final to watch today.
So there is Neymar. Disappointment for him. He and Messi were always going to be very much in the spotlight this evening. Neither of them really had their best game.
No, that'll be disappointing. So you always want to figure heavily in a cup final. You want your team to win. Brazil just lacked something tonight. I think tactically they didn't quite get it right. I think the big players weren't afforded time and space to perform as they would have liked. I think Argentina done a job on them.
Well, I think they can finally get ready to get their hands on the prize. After losing the last 6 finals that they've played at senior level, celebrations at the end of a showpiece event for the Albiceleste tonight. Since they last won the Copa in 1993, they've had to watch Brazil go on to lift it 5 times and see the Seleção win 2 World Cups. But the first ever time that they've played a Copa America final in Brazil, they end up beating Brazil. They win the trophy after seeing off the last 2 sides that actually beat them 2 years ago. Colombia beat them in the group stage of the Copa. They came past them on penalties in the semis a few days ago. Brazil beat them in the semis of the 2019 edition. And they have overcome their big rivals in the showpiece this evening. It is a sizable trophy, the America's Cup. It was made in 1916 in Buenos Aires. Made of silver. The wooden base with the plates of the champions countries was added in the late 1970s. And Lionel Messi will have the chance to get his hands on it for the first time very, very shortly. For Argentina, the wait is over. Their first Copa success since 1993, and they've done it in the backyard of their big rivals, Brazil. What a night for the Albiceleste, and Lionel Messi finally has a title with his country. Argentina are the 2021 Copa America champions.